Good evening, my lovely and wonderful people. Good evening, all. How are we doing? I trust we are doing fine. We are all doing great. I am doing fine as well. I can't believe, like always, that another week, another week is here. It was just yesterday that we did the last session on we did our last topic, and now we are in a new season, in a new month. It's unbelievable. Happy new month, by the way. Happy new month. Welcome to the month of September. It's the month of, remember, the month of reward, the month also of, fruitfulness. And that's why the topic, fruitfulness. So this whole month, like we started some time ago, we will be dealing with the topic fruitfulness. We all want to be fruitful, but what do we mean by being fruitful? That's what we are going to see. We are going to break it down into different sub, you know, topics, like I've been doing with the other topics, and so that it will help us to get better understanding. Anyway, if you are new here, you are welcome. If you've always been here, you are also welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for the opportunity also to come to you. Thank you for your time. I don't take any of you for granted, like you know. So thank you so much for your time, and you are welcome to another edition of Discovery Time. Um, well, sorry, let me get. Yes, I think this is much better. I was having too much of a blur from the other one. Anyway, so once again, you are welcome to another edition of Discovery Time. This is the place where not we discover new things. Sometimes we unravel things that are already there, but just maybe hidden for us. I told my children, mystery is what you don't know. Once you know it, it's no longer a mystery, right? But once you know it, the mysteriousness is gone. So a mystery is what you don't know, and to God there is nothing that is a mystery, because He knows all things. And so He said we should come to Him, and He will reveal the hidden things unto us, which means that which we don't know yet, that which is hidden from us, we will what discover it. It doesn't mean that it was not there. It has been in existence. It's just that we did not know it, or have not yet discovered it. So that is what discovery here is all about. It's not that we are going to learn new things. It's not that we are going to invent also things, but just bring back to our memory what we maybe knew before but forgotten, um, or take things from a different perspective. Last last month, other was the importance of sorry, last month's topic was the importance of order, and before then we dealt with brokenness, and we've been dealing with series of topics. I started this program last year, and we've been dealing with a lot. We've covered a lot. But there is also so much, so much to learn, so much to discover, so much to unravel. And sometimes I realize that I don't really go in depth in most of the topics. It's like scratching the surface, because when I start writing, about and doing studies on the topics, I'm like, this is deep, this is deep, this is deep. And you sometimes need to cut some things short, or package it in a way that it doesn't become too heavy. It's understandable, it's accessible, for the people that you want, you want to reach. So there are some that I feel like, who I can go, this needs to be dealt with on a deeper level. And so sometimes some of the topics will be coming up again for us to deal with them in a deeper level. Good evening, Lydia. How are you doing? You are welcome. I trust your week has been good so far. Thank you for joining. And as you join, please help us do what we do best. Help us, spread the word. Um, it's happening. Discovery time is on. So help us spread the word. Right. So, like I was saying, last week I personally realized, this topic is not yet done. There is so much to cover, and the importance of order. There is so much to discover. Yes, to discover about the topic. Um, we talked about, the order in diversity, which on its own, it's that one alone is a volume. You can take it in different ways. And I realized I just scratched the surface. So there's just so much we can go in depth with all the topics. And this this month's topic is like one of them: fruitfulness. We all know and understand and have a notion of what fruitfulness means. We all want to be fruitful. Um, but good evening, Falashade. You are welcome, my dear. How are you doing? You're welcome. Yes, my dear, help us spread the word, help us, you know, help us bless others as well, and be a blessing, and be blessed as well, because you never know. We are all here to learn. Okay, so help us do what we do best. Thank you all. Thank you so much for joining. I am doing fine, Falashade. I'm so fine. Thank you. How are you doing? Okay. Yes, so September is here. It comes with challenges because in this part, school reopens, and children are going back to school, different levels, and it comes with the necessary, anxiety. It comes with the necessary preparation as well. um thank you so much, Falashade. Thank you. Sorry, Falashade. Thank you. So it comes with a whole lot of things, um starting the new school year. If you want the children to be fruitful, you as a parent, you need to do something, right? And so the starting of a school year always, brings that opportunity as a parent, that you go and buy new bag, for example, buy books, buy this, buy that. And it's a costly period as well. It's not cheap. They need new school uniforms. The school fees needs to be paid, or part needs to be paid now, and so forth and so forth. So there is a lot that goes into preparing them for the school year, for the academic year. And why do you do that? Why do you do that? Because you want them to be successful. You want them to be successful. And that's what fruitfulness, I believe, is all about. Our main topic for this year and beyond is greatness. And you cannot be great without being fruitful. It's intertwined. You can't be great if you are not fruitful. So if you want to be fruitful, there are some things that you actually need to put in place. There are some things also that you need to consider. And those are the things that this period, this month, this September, we are going to really dive deeper into. Some of them we take them for granted. When I was preparing this, I was just laughing. I was like, we all want to, when we see the mango tree, we want to eat the fruit. We want to enjoy the fruit, but we 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 don't ask ourselves, how did this mango tree, come to be that mango tree that is producing for us? Who planted it, that we are being blessed by the fruit of it? Could be that the person that planted it like years back is no more, but we are enjoying the fruit of it. So someone did something. Somebody did something for the mango tree to be there, that we are all, the tree, the fruit is so beautiful. The fruit, is beauty to the eye, but it's also delicious and good for the body. But somebody had to do something for it to be so. So when we talk about fruitfulness, what do we actually want? A lot of our youths nowadays, everyone wants to make it big time. Everyone wants to make it. No one wants to, start from somewhere. Not only the starting, no one wants to take the time to do the needful. Everyone wants to just out of nowhere, Palm, I've made it. But if you ask them, what does it really mean? I've made it. What does it mean? You can't really get a definition. You can't really get a clear answer. All is reduced to money. All is reduced to making it big time, hitting the jackpot. And so life nowadays has become the life of the gambler. People are just gambling, and they want out of the gamble just to make a lot of money. And if you approach life that way, I'm very sorry to say, but you will miss out big time. If you approach life in the manner of just gambling, oh, let me use this to catch this. Let me use this small worm to catch a lot of fish. One, it doesn't work. You might maybe hook one fish, um, maybe not. So the life of a gambler is not the way of the way to be fruitful. Instead, it takes away from you. It takes so much away from you. It wastes your time, it wastes your resources. And at the end of the day, if you should count the amount that you have spent in the so called making it big time, and not only money, but also the emotions that you have sown into it, or the um, just everything that you have sown it, it's not worth it. And that's what they don't understand, that time is a resource, time is currency as well. So the time that you are spending to make it by gambling is gone. It is gone. And if you approach life like that, my dear people, I'm here to please, beg us to not to approach life like that. Life is not a game. I wrote some time ago, life is not a game. Life has been around too long. You cannot play it. Life will play you left, right, center if you approach it as a game. It is not a game, but life responds only to the principles. The same with time. Time is life. Time is life, because life is measured in what? Time. Time. Life is measured in years, in days, in weeks. That's your life. In decades. It's time. So if your life is time and you are wasting that time, at the end of the day, what do you gain? What do you have to show for it? What do you have to show for it if you spend your time and therefore your life in that manner? So you can't play life. Life has been around way too long to be played with. You can't play life. You need to be diligent in a lot of ways. You need to be diligent. Good evening, patients. You're welcome. How are you doing? So this evening we are going to see the part of fruitfulness that we need, and that part is the planting. Hmm, the planting. Next week, by the grace of God, we will see another part. So I have broken down the fruitfulness for us in different sub themes. And the planting is what we are going to start with because that's where everything starts, right? Exactly, Lydia. Life, life will play you. Life will play you left, right, center. You can't play life. Life has been around way too long to be played with, and it has seen more than you and I together combined together. So you need to understand the principles in life and live according to those principles. Without that, mm-mm, mm-mm. There is no fast ways when it comes to um, making it in life. There is no short corners as well because whatever you gain in a rush and unprepared, you also lose it in a rush because you were unprepared. And that's what we are going to see with this planting. Now, I started with the mango tree. The mango tree that I remember as a child, I have eaten a lot of mangoes and they did not fall from the sky. Somebody took the effort to plant the seed of a mango. And out of that seed, a tree came forth. Out of that seed, a tree came forth with a lot and a lot of fruits. One seed produce every year and a lot of fruits with also seed in them. So if you don't take time to prepare well when it comes to what you need to be fruitful, my people, we will miss it. We will miss it. Preparation is so essential. But before you can prepare, you need to have what? The seed. If you don't have the seed, you can't prepare. Now, what is the seed? The seed is that which is giving, that which you have to put in whatever, to put in the soil, to put in the ground, that which you have. And it can be any seed. Now I'm using the mango seed as an example, but we have a lot of seeds. Like you and I, in us, we are hidden treasures. In us, within us are hidden treasures. Those treasures are the seeds. Those treasures that are hidden in us, they are the seed that are, planted in us. So, in order for the seed to now become a tree bearing a lot of fruits, something needs to be done. Something needs to happen. First of all, something needs to happen to the seed, which means you need to know the type of seed that you have. You need to know, am I holding a mango seed? Which is easy to find out when it comes to physical seed. Not, it's easy to know I'm holding a mango seed. Oh, this is an apple seed. Or this is an orange seed. You know the seeds by what? Looking at them, by their types, by their kinds. You know the type of seed that you're holding. And the type of seed, when you know the type of seed that you're holding, you also have to prepare the ground for that type of seed. You don't just plant anywhere, anyhow. I mean, we can't just do that. That's just wrong. That's just a wrong approach. You can't just plant anything, anywhere, anyhow. You must have an idea. Some seeds like sun. Some seeds don't like too much sun. They need shades. Some seed needs more water. Some don't need that much water. Some seeds are very delicate, and so they need the right balance of everything. So you need to know the type of seeds you are holding and what is necessary, what is needed for it to become what? Fruitful. Example of seed to us as you, as a person, can be an idea, a vision. It starts with what? A vision. And then you need to start now working on that vision. You need to start working on that dream. You need to start working on that idea. Ideas remain ideas as long as you don't start working on them. They remain ideas. But once you start working on them and making it more concrete, it becomes what? Tangible. Otherwise, it is invisible. It's somewhere. Like last time we learned, your thoughts that you don't see but is there, it's in there. It's somewhere there. But if you don't work on it gradually to make it concrete enough to now start taking actions, it will remain what? A dream. It will remain a vision. It will remain an idea. So the seed that you need to prepare, you need to first of all become aware of it. Become aware that you have the seed in your hand. Become aware that you have the seed in you, and that seed need for you to get clarity. It needs for you to get it, make it clear. The vision is for an appointed time. Write it that it become clear. When you start writing it, it's already what? It's out of the mind, out of the thought, it's clear on paper. Now, the power of writing something down, I always like, I'm the type that when I learn best after, when I write it down as well. I can read something and get summarize it and get the idea of what is there. But if I really want to learn, I need to write some things down. That's the best way for me. Because as I'm writing it, my brain is processing it. It's processing it. And so it becomes for me vivid. It becomes for me alive. So when you work it out, when you work your vision, your idea, when you write it down, at least it becomes something that is not only in your head, you are seeing it. And so as you are seeing it, it's visible to you, you will now start thinking of, what do I need? What do I need to be able to actualize this dream? What do I need? So your preparation. What and what and what do I need to make this vision concrete to start with? Once you make it concrete, you now can know, okay, I need this, I need that to be able to plant this vision, to be able to plant this seed, to be able to, put it in the right ground. Okay. In the round ground, right ground. If not, it can't be fruitful for you. It cannot produce, it cannot bring or give you what you want, right? So you need to prepare it, make it concrete, make your vision concrete, make your idea concrete. Now, apart from making it concrete, from the abstract to the concrete, you also need to become aware of what the ground. I think we all know the story of the sower in Matthew chapter 13. When Jesus spoke about the sower that went out to sow seed, and some fell on the way, Was it very fruitful? No. There was a sower though. There was a sower that went out to sow. So there was a sower that had seeds, and he went out and he spread. Some fell on the wayside, some fell on a rocky ground, some fell on a good soil. And we read what happened to all of them. What happened to all of them? The ones that fell on the wayside were what? They were choked. I mean, they were taken, eaten by birds. They did not really have anywhere, nothing. There was nothing to. There was nothing. The seed was even snatched before it can it can really settle on the ground. So there was really nothing there for them. The ones that fell on a rocky ground, they tried. They tried to grow, they tried, but because there is no deeper soil, they shoot up and then the sun did its work and they died. They died because lack of deep roots, and they died because also of the hot sun. So when you are planting, there are conditions that you need to understand. The type of seed that you have, is it right for that type of ground? Good evening, Debbie. You are welcome. You're so welcome. How are you doing? The type of seed, is it good for that ground? Some will also be choked by what? Thorns. By thorns, by weeds. Some will be choked. Why? Because of lack of attention, lack of preparation. It's so important for you to prepare yourself if you want to be fruitful. Having the vision, having the idea is great, but it is useless if you do not have a deeper understanding of what it means. It is useless if you don't have the wisdom in how or what that idea needs for it to, become fruitful, for it to bless you and bless others. So, first, having the vision is great, having the seed is awesome. But I want to stress on something. You have the seed, you have the idea, you have the vision. But sometimes the quality or the state in which you are can make that idea useless. For example, you have an idea, but you don't believe that you can achieve. There is this thing of unbelief that that idea is actually for you while it is given to you. But you have this belief that it's not meant for you, maybe for someone else. Can you achieve it? You can't, because you don't even see it. So as long as you don't see it, it's not that the idea is bad, it's not that the idea is corrupt, but it is you. So preparation also means you need to be prepared to carry it forth. You need to be prepared to say, okay, I am going to dig a hole and I am going to do what? Plant the seed. Without that, you are not going to work. I mean, it's not going to work. So you need to be prepared, first of all, before you can actually start preparing the ground that has to carry that seed. Some people have this unforgiveness, bitterness, hate, fear. All that corrupt your seed. All that corrupt your seed. And so when we talk of ground, you might find a good ground. and you might plant it. But if you that needs to tend to that seed, you yourself, you are corrupt, I'm sorry, but that seed is not going to do well. That idea is not going to do well. That vision is already like it's dead before it can even become a reality because of your condition, the condition that you yourself you are in. If you are in a state that is not worthy of a sower, you can't sow. And yet we want to reap. We want to reap what we did not sow in the first place. And we also want to reap where we did not sow, which is not right. I mean, it's both the law of nature and spiritual law condemns it. If you don't work, you don't eat. And so if you don't sow, you also don't eat. But for you to be able to reap, for you to be able to be fruitful, you need to pay attention to what? The conditions. The conditions, and that is prepare yourself. Prepare yourself. Look, what you prepare yourself to receive is what you will get. That's just the truth. What you prepare yourself to receive is what you will get. And so, if you are planting a seed, what you prepare yourself to receive from that seed is what you will get. Because that is the effort that you put in. If the idea you have is the seed, what you prepare yourself to receive from that idea is what you will get. It can't, that's just how it works. You know, we dealt with the spiritual law just recently. There are rules that if you break, nothing will, I mean, it can't work for you. It's simple as ABC. You know, it can't work. It will not work for you. So understand, first of all, the type of seed, that you have. Understand it. Know this seed is A, B, and C, and not the same. Mango seed is not the same like with apple seed. It's not the same with orange seed. It's not the same with grape seed. It's not. They are not the same seed. So you should know it. Your seed is not the same like my seed. You have to know it. And so what I may need to plant my seed is not what you need. It's not what you might need. So prepare yourself. I've spoken about the seed. I've spoken about you as, being prepared. You preparing the condition. Because if you sow in bitterness, do you know that it's also bitterness that you reap? Whatever you sow is what you reap. That's the spiritual law and the law of nature. Some people did an experiment with plants, and they did an experiment with plants that they, the same plants, same thing, same conditions, but the only difference is the manner of approach, treatment, treating the plant. And so the one was very positive, all positive words over the one, and then the other was just all negative. And the result is overwhelming. I mean, the result is mind blowing that even plants obey this principle. How you are, if you have bitterness, if you have anger, if you have unforgiveness, it has effect. It corrupts the seed. It corrupts the seed. And don't forget, children are what? They are the fruit of they are the reward of the womb. They are the fruit. So if you have bitterness in you and you are bringing forth fruit, please, what kind of fruit are you bringing forth? That's one. Two, prepare the ground. You must know which type of ground you are sowing what. Not all grounds can grow everything. What do I mean by that? The story of the sower is make it very clear. Rocky places are not the place to grow, fruits that need deep roots to grow. If it needs shallow and they can survive under the sun, then it has a chance of surviving. But if not, it will die. You just throw it anyhow on the road, well, the birds will use it as food and eat it. It will also what? Die. So prepare the ground. Know which seed where to sow. Like I said, some seeds need more water. Some seeds they really deeper. They need to go deep, deep, deep into the ground. Why? The roots need space to grow. And some, if you put them near water, maybe it's like um, they need water, but not that much water. So you need to understand type of seed you are carrying, the type of seed you have, and where you are planting it. Prepare the ground. Prepare the ground. If you don't prepare the ground, also um, you might be starving your fruit. You might be starving your tree, and you might not get that quality fruit that you need. That good fruit. Most of the time, I know if you go to the shop, sometimes they have fruits that they label, very excellent because of where it has been planted and how it has been planted, the ground and everything that worked on. If you don't prepare your land, if you don't prepare it very well, you are setting yourself up for failure. Good evening, Destiny. You're welcome. How are you all doing? You're all welcome. So if you don't prepare yourself, you are setting yourself up for what? For failure. Now, most of farmers, they first do what? They plow. They plow the ground. Now, plow, it's a this of, bringing, turning it and making it more fertile. And then they mix natural fertilizers, not the chemical one, but you have natural fertilizers. You mix it. And so you work the ground. You don't just go and just plant. You work the ground. And as you work it, you plow it, you sometimes they water it for a while to get it well prepared before they will now start sowing. They will now start sowing for the type of seed that they have. Some will dig deep, deep, deep for the type that they are planting. Some very on the surface. They will plant according to the type of seed, and they will prepare the ground according to what? The type of seed. You know, the I love the Bible so much because God has actually given us everything and the idea, even how to do proper agric is in the Bible. If you plant, there are some seasons that you need to give the ground what? Rest. There are some seasons you need to give the ground rest. Why? So that it also recovers. It balance. You don't just continue planting. You need to give that ground also rest. We will see that. We will see the tools coming. We'll deal with that in the coming series. It's so important. So you must know, first of all, the type of seed, your own condition, how you are, because How you are, that determines how, your approach to what you're going to plant, and how you're also going to prepare the ground. And know that without planting, you can't be fruitful. Without planting, there is no way you can be fruitful. Whatever you reap, whatever you sow is what you will reap. Whatever you sow is what you will reap. Sometimes we don't always reap what we sow due to circumstances like the weather. Those are things that we don't have under our control. Like there are some parts in Ghana this season, it did not rain that much. So most of what they planted did not come out well. It doesn't mean that they did not prepare well. They prepared. But due to circumstances beyond their control, they could not get enough of what they planted, like yam and maize. They could not get enough of it. So there are situations that you cannot control. That is for sure, that is there. But that should not stop you or should not be the reason why you not even plant at all. That if you do that, if you take that approach, that you not plant at all because after all, well, I can fail anyway, then you are setting yourself up for a life of failure. Because one, there is no success without failure. There isn't. In that failure, there is a lesson to learn. Lesson on what not to do. Maybe you planted in the wrong season. Because that's also another thing that you need when it comes to the planting. You need to understand seasons. You have seasons for everything in nature as well. There is the tomato season, the yam season, the this season, the that season. You have seasons for everything. So it's not all times you plant any and anyhow thing. It's not. So you need to understand the season you are in and what seed is right for that season for you to plant. If you are not, if you don't, you will miss it altogether. Benjamin says, good evening, Benjamin. Determination really matters in reaping what you want to sow for. Exactly. For sure. You need to also understand the seasons you are in. You can't plant. I mean, in the rainy season, there are seeds. But the rainy season is actually the season that waters the plant, and by then the root needs to be strong enough, to be able to withstand all the rain and so forth. So there are some seeds, if you put it while it's raining, you've wasted it because you think, oh, now it's raining, so now is the time to plant. You've lost it. If you say, oh, now it's dry, maybe let me again, for that seed, that might not be the right time for it. So you need to understand the seasons. The season is very important. That's what farmers look at to determine which seeds to plant. And that's why we have what they call season foods. In that season, the food grow more. It's their season. They are fruitful. And so they produce more under the right condition. So you need to understand which season you are in, which season is the right time for that particular seed for you to plant. If not, you've missed it altogether. Not because A and B and C are doing it, so I'm also going to do it. You don't know where they started from. You don't know where their season started, that you are seeing them flourishing. Does not mean that is exactly that season that they planted. Understand your own seed and the seasons before you start planting anything. If not, my dear people, I'm very sorry. We are going to miss it. And then you start blaming all those, I don't know what, situation and lack of money. See, money, money is very important when it comes to realizing things. But money you will miss it big time if you think all that you need is money to be able to plant. When you plant at the right time and season, that plant will attract the money to you. It will attract the resources you need to you. I'm going to use myself as an example. Look, last week I told you, by the grace of God, this Monday that passed off, um, we've opened a school, a Christian school here, and it counts. It did not just happen. It did not just happen, my people. Good evening, Bisola. You're welcome. God bless you. How are you doing? Well, it's better late than never. You're welcome there. So yeah, it did not happen just like that. This is years of preparation. I mean, I've had the vision ever since I was a child from Ghana. When I came here, when came to Belgium, and as I grew, I thought that it's actually meant for, that when I'm on pension, I'll go back to Ghana to, um, build this school and start it. But the Lord, some years back, it just became such a burden. It became such a burden. I was like, mm, what? And then I took my time and I paid attention and I started writing it down. I think I wrote in 2014. I found some notes. Right in 2014, I was already writing concerning the ideas of from 2014. Sorry, 2014, and then I left it there. But the funny thing, in 2014, I changed job, and so when I changed job, I was doing the job, happily and everything, but there was still something missing, that the peace and the joy that you have. Though I loved my job, I loved doing it, but at a certain point, now I wrote in 2014 pieces of the vision. It was not yet 100% clear, but pieces of it was written down. And then fast forward 2017, again this burden. So I started writing each time. That when anytime I prefer to write, they say, because the word of God says, write the vision down. It is for what? An appointed time. So I started writing it down. I wrote it, and then I'll be like, okay, what now? What? 2018 now, 14. I wrote the first. 17, more ideas came, more visions. I started writing them down. And it was not like they were completely different, but it was like building on, while they were from different time, but they were building on the same. And so 2018, the thing, the burden became so much, so much. I was like, what should I do? And throughout that whole year of 2018, the ideas, the vision was just clear. No, you are not waiting to go to Ghana. You are not waiting to go and start it in Ghana. You will do it for sure in Ghana, but you must first, the vision is to first start here. My dear people, one, what came to my mind? That's what, so you, the person, it's so important to prepare yourself. What came to my mind? I'm a foreigner in this country, different language. No experience in teaching, because I was then a business. I was a financial director. Well, experience in working with youths, but no experience in teaching. I was like, the law is so complicating that I'm like, where do I even start? And that is where the preparation started. Now, my people, 2018, 2019, I left my work to go to work back to get a degree in teaching. Good evening, Ify. Good evening, Jane. You're all welcome. God bless you. I stopped work. Now, I am a married woman with 3 children. I left my work because the burden was so heavy to go back to school to get my education, my certificate to be able to teach. Why did I do that? Because I did not want anything to stop me. If I have said that I'm going to do it part time, go to school while I'm working, and I'm a mother, I have responsibilities. I cannot, and maybe it will take me ages before I will finish. And if I also said, oh, I'm going to teach, because of my lack of how should I say, experience in the educational field, and because also I did not trust myself good enough to say, oh, I will learn it on the way, because I feel like whatever is worth doing is worth doing well. That's just, whatever is worth doing is worth doing well. So at least let me have an idea of what it's like. Let me also have the theoretical background, and then with my experience I will be able to withstand. One, I wanted to avoid criticism. People, they criticize, and especially having this color, you know, standing in front of the class. I don't want any parents to come up to me and ask or question my um my educational background. Good evening, Philip. Thank you for coming. Nice to see you. I do not want anyone to come and question my educational background, even though I had a master's. I had masters in political communication before. I do not want them to come and say you are what, inexperienced to teach our children because of what, color and language. I learned a lot, I learned Dutch. I speak it fluently, but with an accent. So also that was playing in my mind, like, yeah, well, they're just going to see the color, woman. I mean, being a woman in school, in education is not a problem, but the color and my very serious Dutch accent. So I was the one holding my seed back, not the people. And so where I wanted to go in there, like it was so much. I don't know, how can you start something without having any experience, like knowing how it works? The idea was there, the knowledge was there of what, but how does it work? Do you have an experience in standing in front of the class and teaching? Do you know what the teachers face? I only know as a student what I face and what I definitely know I don't want for any student to face. But do you also know on the other side what the teachers face? And what do you need in this era? What is keeping our, the youth and so forth? What is keeping them? And what do we need to correct? We have the idea, all right, but does it fit? So, my dear people, that was my push. I took 1 year of um, leave from work to immerse myself completely and get what I need to get. In that 1 year, it was hot, it was stressful, but I went for it to get the master for education, to be able to go without any questions that, hey, I have the right document and certificate, and now I'm going to prove that I can do it. And I was able to achieve it. And then I started teaching. As I started teaching, what I was thinking was a barrier became an asset, because I knew it would be a good example for our youth to see, hey, you can do it. But I didn't know that even those that are not our youth, like, our from the same background, will also feel, hey, yeah, we feel you, we see you. And so the connection was just great. It was there. And the funny thing is that because of the passion that I have, I go extra length. So obviously there will be more connection because I want them to understand. I just don't want them, I don't want reproduction. That's something. So I realized, oh, that is my take as a teacher. And it fits in this way with this vision. And that's how you now what you prepare yourself and you prepare the seed. The seed. It took me all this while. When did I say I wrote it? 2014. 2019, I did my master's for education. Direct after that, I went into the teaching and started teaching. And it just felt like a second nature. Like it's like I'm called to do it. And so my love and passion for it just came out. And that was it. All this was what preparing for what? For this 2024. And my people, I can tell you, I wrote it down exactly when this vision is to be realized. I wrote it down with time and date and everything. In my timing, it should have been realized last year. But last year, I was not ready. I was not prepared well enough. So I said, God, you're right. My timing and your timing are not the same. There is still so much to prepare, so much to learn. So I give myself one more year of grace to learn. And it continued. Now, I am starting this. I'm not there. Again, I have taken what? Break from work. I have taken break from work to support, to help, to build, to plant. To plant. Because if you do not put in the effort, if you do not take the time to plant well, another will not be able to do it, to plant it the way the vision is given. So if this is the season for it, you need to give it the attention to plant it. And so it demands what? Sacrifices. You need to be willing to sacrifice, and that is paying the price. You need to be willing to pay the price, and not only in time, in finance. Where is the money coming from? Finance. There is not. People are not willing to pay so high for education. Why? Because the public schools are free, as good as free. Why? Government is sponsoring the public schools. So if government is sponsoring, I came with idea. I went to the government, like, and they were like, "This your idea is very good, but we are not going to sponsor it," which is fine. Why? Because it's slightly different from the other ones, and anything different will not be accepted the first time. And so again, you must be willing to pay the price. You must be determined and push on. And I thank God for surrounding me with good people. Good evening, Sister Amanda. I thank God for surrounding me with what? Good people that bought into the vision and help carry it. When the right season is there, God Himself makes sure that whomever that needs to help, the helpers will start coming. And that's what happened. From left, this one, people came like, let's help, let's support. And I'm so grateful. I'm also so grateful for my spiritual parents who, they from day one I started speaking about this, they were like, yes. They were like, yes, and supported all the way. So if you have people like that, and if you have this is the season and the planting. It doesn't just come, it doesn't just, you need to put in the work, prepare yourself, be willing to prepare, pay the price of preparation, because it's the time that you invest. It's the time you invest in whatever seed that you want to sow, you invest in making it concrete. Okay, what is it? This is the idea, but what does it mean if we are going to realize it? What do we need? What also, what's your product? The product is not just the seed. What do we want out of it? What do we want out of it? What should it do? Remember, we did last week or throughout the whole of last month the importance of order. There is nothing created without a purpose. Whatever you do, anything you do in any system is created for what? A purpose. So you too, the seed that you want to plant, to what purpose? To what purpose do you want the seed to achieve? If you don't have it, please don't until the purpose is clear. Don't even, the idea is good, don't start running with it. Prepare and get the purpose set, like ready, clear. And then you now start working on how, when, who. Like that, the puzzles gradually become what? Clear. The vision giving it's not always clear. It's not always clear. It comes in pieces. And so as you are writing it, you realize, oh, okay, now it's clear. But even as it is clear, because of the challenges that you will face, you will still have to revisit the vision and see, okay, where do I need to adjust to meet with the challenge or to overcome that challenge without watering down the vision, without watering down the seed? What do I need to adjust? Because the idea may be good, but maybe for the implementation, for you to be able to plant it, you need to adjust one or two things. The ground, what needs to be done? Which preparation do I need to prepare to be able to, be fruitful with that seed? Good evening, Joy. You're welcome. It's a bit late. I'm about to round up. You know, Preparation is so important. We live in a world that we want everything fast, fast, fast. I call it the microwave experiment. We think we have microwave, we put everything in, woof, boom, you warm it, it comes out. So we want everything in life to be like that. I'm sorry, but not everything is microwavable. You cannot. The essence of life is not microwavable. You can't put it in the microwave. It's not possible. Good evening, Stella. You're welcome. You can't put it in a microwave. So if you don't take the time, and if you're not willing to pay the price, please don't dream of being fruitful. I have to say it as it is, because we all know the truth, yet we still want to bend it here and there. When it comes to greatness, there is no shortcuts. There is no shortcuts to greatness. So if you are not willing to pay the price, don't even dream of it. Okay, Joy. It is well. God bless you. Don't even dream of it. That's just The preparation and the planting is so, so important. Take your time. Take your time. It took me from 2014 for the first time writing it. It came back again very heavily in my heart in 2017. 18, I could not rest. I was restless until it was like, yeah, okay, what are the steps? What should I do? And as soon as I gave into that process, sometimes you'll be fighting things. You're like, no, it's not, no. You'll be fighting it. And that was what I was doing. I was fighting it, like, no, but yes, and but no. And when I gave in, even with all the um the financial investment that needed to be done, and also what you are losing from just saying 1 year stop. You know how it is, what it is. It's not easy, but even in that I was at peace because I had the purpose in mind. I had the purpose in mind. And like now, I have the purpose in mind. So I've been preparing, and now is the planting. All these years was just preparation, and now is the planting. So it is now the actual planting is what happening. The ground was being prepared, my own ground, my own condition, my own mindset was being prepared. The ground, the everything, the work, was being prepared for the seed to be able to be planted. And so now is the planting. Next week, by the grace of God, we will deal and we will dive deeper into the nurturing. Today was the planting. Next week, we'll go into the nurturing part. Thank you so, so much for your time. I'm going to round up. So sorry for those that came late. But next, I think in October, we are going back to the time manipulators who put the time back to winter time. And then we will be on the same level, I think. So it will work out better. It's with the summertime that we always miss a lot of people. So by the grace of God, I'll see you all next week for the nurturing part of fruitfulness. Thank you so much. I hope you've been able to pick one or two things. Like I said, it's nothing new, but you never know, from a different perspective, it might, encourage one or two of us to see things differently and to do things also differently. Right? Thank you all. God bless you all, and see you by the grace of God next week. Uh, on time. I am very, very grateful to you all. Good night. Bye.